Well, hey there. Welcome back to camp. Kind of. We're away from camp today. We're in Camp Nobody Garage, or Garage Nobody. Doing something a little bit different here for this video. There's a few accessories I'm going to wire in, and it seems like to do anything with this thing, you have to take this hood grill assembly off. And I noticed there's not a whole lot of videos showing that process. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. Let's see what we got to do. So to take this off, we have a bunch of these little push pin connector things. I think they're called push pin, but I always hate taking those off because it seems like they're never the same when you put them back. Somehow you damage them, you end up breaking some. To help with that, I just went to Harbor Freight and got these push pin pliers. So we'll see how these, it's kind of a little review on these pliers too. I think that's what these are for. That wasn't bad. Just kind of squeeze them in there, wiggle, wiggle, and pull. Probably doesn't help that this thing is so dusty too. They're not sliding very well, but it's working well. So let's see, we got about 80,000 of these things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got an actual screw there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Broke one. I think it's broken. Maybe it's not broken. We got 2 down here too. One there, one there. So the pliers are working pretty good, but I found their limitation. So tight spots like this, I can't get the pliers in there to get a hold of it. It's almost, these were almost made for this. There's a little, I know you probably can't see on video, but there's a little depressed area in the bigger ring that lets you, it's just about the width of these, that lets you get in there. But with this being so close, if there's a close restriction, you can't get the pliers in there. I might be able to grab needle nose and turn the whole thing so that those grooves are, well, maybe I don't have to go by the grooves. Maybe I can just, let's see, then you start tearing stuff up. I may have to figure out another way to get those in there. Those 2 spots, and then this one in here, because it's sunk down into this little round section here that's depressed down in there. I can't get the pliers. They're too wide to fit the nose of them down in there. So I don't know, we'll see. So it looks like you can, with some regular needle nose, turn those to where you can get the grooves almost lined up. Oh, there we go. Got it. It wasn't holding on very well, but it got it. It's kind of a puzzle. You just have to figure out, because these things have an angle to the point of them, so you can't get it one way, so you got to turn it and get it the other way. Let's see if this one will turn as easy. Yeah, it turns easy. Get in there and see. Got it. Now this one in here, there's no way I can turn that to where I can get those pliers down in there. So I'm going to just try with the needle nose and probably mess everything up. Maybe I can get a screwdriver under there. Let me try that. This is how I would always do these things in the past before having any of those pliers, and inevitably you just trash the pen by prying on it so much. Always try to do even pressure around, so do it a little bit on one side, turn it, maybe regular pliers. Some regular pliers. Got it. I know I've heard it said it's easiest to just buy a bulk amount of these things new and then just replace them, tear them up and replace them, put new ones in when you put them back. I never plan ahead enough for that though. Regular bolt with a Phillips head on it. I think the green part of the hood here should actually be completely free now. Oops. Got another one in the front here of the little trunk area. That looks like an easy one to get out, but it'll be the one that I spend an hour and a half trying to get out and then have to chisel out and then have to drill out. That's how it works for me usually. The last one, the one that's holding you, keeping you from your goal. Of course it didn't come out easy. I wonder if it was kind of in a bind. Those were the cup holders falling out. So with a little bit of squeezing and prodding, you can get the hood to come off without having to completely take off the grill. I'm looking for accessory wires, so I'm looking here. Sorry, excuse the dusty mess. Man, the road that I trailer this back to camp on, to the property, is gravel and very dusty. I thought the outside of it was dusty. Okay, so I got this big green block here. Looks like a switch. If I'm guessing, I'm thinking that's probably the headlight switch, maybe, for when you put in the second set of headlights. Because I think this is what these two here, there's a black wire with the yellow and a black wire with white. And I'm thinking those are what they call the horn circuit, because there is a fuse in the fuse box. Oh wait, but then you have these over here. I'm pretty sure these two would go to switches. These are is what those two power, I think. So this was just laying over here on this side, passenger side. This is up here close to the switches. A little tip, you can buy the service manual. It's about $80 for the Mule. But you can get a lot of information if you go to the Kawasaki website and act like you're going to buy like a LED wiring harness and scroll down, you'll see instructions, install instructions. And sometimes it'll give you little hints on where there is power. That's part of my problem here, is I was trying to figure out where can I pull power from. I'm gonna go look at those instructions again. So that is taking the hood off. If you were wanting to take the hood off to get to the top of the shocks, there they are. We just wanted to see what it looks like in here. Yours will hopefully be less dusty than this. But yeah, I'm going to continue on. I've found power here. This is a horn accessory or horn circuit. This goes to the switch. This goes to the accessory. Normally, again, it would be a horn. But I'm planning to put on LEDs that are gonna be like backlights here for, you know, light behind you if you need it. Like top of trucks, you know, the cab lights, clearance lights or whatever. I'm gonna put some up here, amber ones, and then I got some green ones to make little interior lights. Why? I don't know. And then I got a like a USB like phone charger. So for this one, I got this USB charger. I'm gonna put it over here so it's close to the 12 volt outlet here, and I'm gonna jump power over to that. Well, be sure that's where you want it before you push it in there, because I don't think you're ever going to get it back out. Make sure you put it right side up, which I did. Okay, so I made these little Ys, I guess, and I'm gonna go. This was the existing 12 volt plug. This is the existing power. And then this will go to plus over here. And I'll tidy that up a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I'll tidy all that up. So now when I turn the key on, I should get power to this. I don't know if it'll show me that it's got power, but let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, one wiring project down. Next. So I have two of these LED lights. They're from Nightlight, just off of Amazon. And I'm gonna put them up here. So it looks like they can swivel down like that, swivel a little more out facing. I just want to make sure, you know, branches or whatever coming across the roof don't catch them, and make sure they're inside the edge here. I kind of wish these bolts that allowed it to pivot up or down were more quick release, so you don't have to have a wrench, and there's 4 of them, so if you needed to quickly change the angle, good luck. Most likely I'm not going to have to change the angle, but I like flexibility with accessories. Feels solid though. Alright, so I got the lights mounted. Here's the other one. And I'm just going through the painful task of running wires. I got this shielded, whatever it is, plastic shielding for it. So I'm planning to run it down along here, down behind the seat, and then these mules have this like channel down the center where all the electrical from the back passes underneath the floorboard here and up into the front hood area. So that's what I'm doing, just running wires. So this is a stock plug. I think it's for the, if you get the inner headlights, which I don't have, I think this would plug into that inner headlight switch. but I'm going to pull power off of it. It's got a power, brown and yellow, and the ground, which is black and yellow. So I got my switch for my rear lights. I'm going to just plug the power into the power supply. It's switched, so when you turn the key on, you get power there. I'm going to plug the black into the ground. And then I got wires coming up. I got two, one for the rear lights and then one for the, what I'm going to call the dome lights. And I'm going to put a little disconnect on there and plug it onto there. My switches came with these little jumper cables here, jumper wires, and they're really handy. So black to this, red to this. I've already hooked ground to a ground spot here, so I should have power now to those lights. Let's see. Okay, so I got this switch here. This is where my dome light switch is going to go. Let's see, if I turn on the key, we got power at the switch. We turn it on. Let's see. Oh yeah. Alright, so I'm down to my last little wiring project I'm going to do here. So I 3D printed this. I already have a light stuck in there, but 3D printed this piece here. And I'm gonna make it a dome light type of situation. It's got a little channel in it. Hook the lights up there, channel for the wire to come out the back. I'm hoping that the angles are right and everything. I didn't want to put it too far forward to where it's kind of like down in your face. I wanted to put it to where, you know, if you're doing something inside here, you know, it could be a little extra light if you need it. I decided to put this third one facing forward. I don't know why. But if you remember, I don't know if I said it already, I got some amber lights to put up here, like cab lights on a 3/4 ton truck, but I just can't figure out a good way to make that happen. To where I wanted it to, anytime you turn the lights on, those would come on, which I can do. But this light switch has a low beam and a high beam, and I can figure out to have it on with either the low beam or the high beam, but I can't in my head figure out a way to make it come on when either one of the lights is on. And so I'm going to think on that a little bit more. Maybe that'll be a future thing I can always do. Let's get this wired up, the dome light. So yeah, I got these little flush mount LED bolt, they call it. It's just a single little light, I think, but because of my thing I was going to do up here, I have 3 ambers and 2 greens. Originally I was going to make the 2 green ones be the dome light, the interior light, and make the amber ones up here. So now I have to decide, do I still do the 2 green ones here and 1 amber one here? I could do all 3 amber, or do 2 amber, 1 green facing forward. I don't know. I guess this is removable. I made it with screw holes, so I can change my mind later, I guess. I think I'm going to go with green facing down and amber facing forward. I don't know why. Just because originally that's what I had pictured as a green interior light to go with the green mule. So these have just a threaded back and then 2 nuts, basically. I don't know why I designed this thing like this, other than I did want some angle so it could face forward a little bit and not completely straight down. That goes in like that. And did I leave enough room to thread these on. Oh, just barely. Just got the 3D printer a little less than a year ago, so I'm still figuring all this stuff out. It's been fun learning, like I've been using Fusion 360 for my 3D modeling program. So it's been fun to learn that. I guess I don't have to worry about it just vibrating loose because it's very small tolerance there. I may have to get some needle nose. But there's always these things you run into when you model something. You think you got all your measurements right, but when you actually go to do it, there's some kind of clearance issue you didn't think about. All right, I got it in there. Wasn't easy, but got both nuts. Had to do a little of this kind of stuff. But that's kind of the fun part of this is, you know, now I have this file and this 3D model file, so I can go back in and, you know, fix stuff if I want to make improvements. One other thing I thought would have been cool on here is, like, when you turn the switch on, have these two come on, but then have a separate little switch up here for this forward facing one. I don't know, if you were trying to sneak up on something and you didn't want a forward facing light, you could turn it off. Not that I think it's going to be that bright, but anyway, so I decided the green one's face down, amber one's going to face forward. Got one more green one to put in there. All right, got all three lights in, and if you're observant, you noticed these stick out a little bit more. They're supposed to be flush mount like this. There's two nuts, so talking about clearance issues, if I put this flush, the back stuck up too much to where it wouldn't go flat against the ceiling without it hitting the back of that light. So I had to put one nut in front as kind of a spacer. You know what I mean, right? So you gotta be flexible. Should work. Maybe I need to tighten this one just a touch more. All right, now I just got to do the tedious process of wiring them all together. Hey, looks pretty good. See, could you do that with a plastic roof? No. I mean, I guess you could. So like I said, I'm just planning to tap into this. I don't want to cut it off and just splice wires, so I'm just going to do these little connects right into it in the right spots, which I've figured out. And then I'm just going to electrical tape it. Leave that intact just in case I ever need the plug there. That was one of my other things with this project, is trying not to, or you know, be as non-destructive as possible in case I ever do want to, I don't know, put in a horn. I'm planning to use the horn power, what would normally go to the horn switch. Plan to use that for the dome light. You know, leave everything as factory as possible. I thought about putting in a fuse block and stuff like that, which I may eventually do, but you know, there's relays and things that I don't know about that I just want to keep it simple for now. If I've got the power, I'm just going to use it as is in a way that I can always unplug and reuse if I need to. Plus then I know it's fused, relayed, whatever. We'll see if it works. I'm just going to wrap that up with electrical tape and should be okay. So I got these switches just from Amazon, from, again, Nightlight, and they come with these little jumpers, which are really handy because you need to ground both of these. So you get ground here, and then this will go to a ground, to an actual ground on the frame or whatever. Then the positive, the hot wire, so you have positive coming in, and I've already got it set up on that one. It jumps to this one, And I think these jumpers have something to do with lighting up these on here. So you take your power to this, your ground to this, and then this goes to the accessory, the light, or whatever you're hooking to. This, which was just here when I opened the hood, this is supposed to go to the horn. If you were adding a horn, this goes to the switch. This doesn't have any actual power in it. It's got an open and it's got a ground. And then this has an open, and this is power, the brown and white. So I'm going to pull power from here, and then I'm going to ground the switch to this black and yellow. And in the spirit of being non-destructive, I'm just going to make up some jumpers from here, positive, to up to there. This ground should fit my ground right here, but I got to push that switch in first. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little tidying up as I go. Need to put some tape on that, but I can't wait. I gotta test it. Keys on. We got lights on there, and we have dome light. It's kind of goofy. I don't know what to think about that amber light on the front. That would have looked really good up top, but maybe eventually. Of course, the true test is going to be when it gets dark. The problem is I never usually stay up late enough for it to get dark outside. I have to figure something out. They work. Very cool. So all the wiring's done. I'm just going to tidy this up a little bit, put the hood back on. I am going to go spray this dust out of here first. But that's that. Project is done. I'll probably put a few clips of, testing it out at night at the end of this video. But hopefully you got something out of it. I wasn't really trying to teach you how to do this, just showing you what I did. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. See you next time.